The next piece of information that is important is going to be the accomplishments. The accomplishments can be built out and listed out as any different type of accomplishment block that you would like to include, such as beneficiaries of income, the total numbers of persons assisted, their race and ethnicity, and even jobs and public services. The reason you'll notice that some of these that are in blue and some that are in gray is because once we have sent the accomplishments and put them into the scheduled report, and the applicant has submitted their scheduled reports, as we can see over here in the report section, these accomplishments cannot be removed. So what this tells us is that an applicant has already submitted a piece of their monthly or quarterly report, and they have included total numbers of persons assisted, and they have also included beneficiaries. The two first ones that we can see right here have been filled out. We can see the accomplishments as well. So because I have listed out the specific accomplishments and this particular subrecipient has filled out a scheduled report, we can see that the total period, or the total number of persons assisted for this period, has been 40, and it's broken down in this particular structure that we see here. You can also note that the period that has been in question was from 10/1/22 to 12/31/22, listed in this column. So until they complete additional periods, these columns will remain blank, but the total will be visible in this column. You will also be able to print out all of this information if they have successfully submitted their scheduled reports, and this will export directly to Excel for you to review at every quarter, month, or annual period that you decide. You will also be able to list out a goal that is specific to each subrecipient. You can add multiple goals should you need to, and those goals will also show up in the scheduled report, which is one of my favorite functionalities through Neighborly Software's Public Service Grant Program. The schedule report is really phenomenal because it allows for quite a bit of different scenarios. You'll also notice that I have a secondary report called Subrecipient Monitoring that we'll review in just a moment. The quarterly report can also be listed out as monthly, annually, and the reporting frequency is chosen based on this drop-down menu right here. The reason that I cannot change this is because I have a full list of reports that have already gone out, are in progress, and even some that are past due. A couple items to note are that we are able to list out the first period start date, the total number of periods within this particular cycle, and then the day of the month that it's due, and how many days before the subrecipient is notified they have the time to take to complete the scheduled report. So for example, this particular report became available on 12/31/22. It was due on 1/15/2023, and the subrecipient got notifications on both of these dates. They will also get notifications every date that it is past due. So for this particular period, this subrecipient is getting quite a bit of notifications in their inbox that they need to complete their scheduled report. If I want to review a report that's already been completed, I can do so by just clicking the line, and it will take me into the report to see what I have submitted. So the goal has been set up by a staff member on your team. Same thing with the accomplishments. And then the narrative and supporting documents are also crucial if you would like them to be required, and any narrative or document that needs to be uploaded can be done so here. And then the subrecipient will be required to sign and submit their report. Most of our clients, or neighbors as we call them, will require their subrecipients to complete this in order to receive their drawdown, whether it's monthly or quarterly, they're completing those drawdowns. Going back into this drop-down menu right here, another phenomenal report that comes with Neighborly software is going to be the accomplishment report. We saw earlier in the schedule reporting, you have the ability to send the report to Excel on the total number of accomplishments, the total number of persons that were assisted, and each different accomplishment block that was included. This report is going to be very beneficial for all of the different subrecipients that you're working with. So this would be an aggregate report, and we're going to include all of the program years in this particular report. We have the ability to see monthly, quarterly, and annually if it is listed out. And we can see here that this goes all the way back to 2018. So we can include specific dates and date ranges, or we can include all of the program years that are included within this particular program. We also have the ability to export this document out into Excel. These filter statuses will let us filter specifically if we needed to run a report on just our approved applications or applications under review, for example. If we go back into our case by clicking the case ID in the upper right-hand corner, we have one more report to take a look at. The last piece of reporting that will be valuable to you is going to be the subrecipient monitoring report. The subrecipient monitoring report allows you to select a specific ad hoc report that is done one time, and you are able to see exactly what other jurisdictions have done and built out a process that is most likely similar to yours. You do not necessarily have to utilize this particular report. However, we are always willing to give our best practice recommendations. And what this does is it is enabling you to utilize what other jurisdictions have built out, and you can remove and add additional questions, fields, or types of fields as you see fit. So this is just an example of what one other jurisdiction has built out in order to complete their final piece of this particular case. The last piece I want to show you is what this looks like from the admin perspective. Once the administrative staff has gone through and completed the entire threshold review, checklist, review process, scoring process. Once all of that has been done and the subrecipient has then been notified that their application has been funded, their view changes from application view into grant view. So this is what it looks like once they have successfully submitted, as we have already seen. And if we go back to our homepage in the participant portal,